I'm Ivy, one of the lead teachers at Sparks Academy, and I just wanted to kind of introduce myself a little bit. I live in the middle of America on a working farm. That's my husband on the tractor that you hear in the background. We are in Central Standard Time, which is why classes are taught in Central Standard Time. I am a North Carolina teaching fellow. That was many moons ago. I also have my master's degree in high school counseling and have spent several years working as a high school counselor. So I've got some resources in our store that will help you with those challenges as well. I will be teaching language arts and history for Sparks Academy. My mother was a language arts teacher for almost 30 years. She will be assisting with the writing assignments, grading those things, and kind of, working with us on those class materials. You learn a lot when you grow up with an English teacher for a mom. My dad was a school superintendent, principal, teacher, all of those things. I definitely come from an education background. So I understand how the public schools work. We've been homeschooling for, gosh, almost 10 years now. And I have other family members that homeschooled back before homeschooling was really a thing. So I also am very well tapped into the homeschooling community. We have been using the Good and the Beautiful for several years, and we've also used Notgrass for a few years. I chose these curricula for language arts and for history because I felt like they were very inclusive as far as preparing your child for college with the things that they were going to need to know. They were stringent, and I just really liked the way that the curriculum is written. History, you might ask. My teaching degree is not in history, but if you followed my blog at Homeschool on the Range for any time, then you know that our family is a very history-oriented family, and just because you don't have a teaching degree, homeschool moms can back me up on this, doesn't mean that you're not capable of teaching it. I've been teaching history in our homeschool co-op now for a few years. So that's a little bit about me. I can't totally tell you this is going to happen yet, but we are in the works right now with a friend of mine. We've been friends for, gosh, over 20 years. He was a teaching fellow with me and is a certified teacher in high school science and math. And he is in the process of kind of shifting some things around so that he can teach advanced high school science and math classes. That way Sparks Academy can offer all of our core classes for language arts, history, science, and math. All of these classes will be taught at a level that will prepare your child for the college experience. We do expect students to do their schoolwork, to show up, to participate, everything that a regular teacher would expect. Why, you might ask, would you want to come to Sparks Academy? And a few of those reasons would be accountability. Your student is accountable to someone other than you. Accreditation. We're not accredited, but accredited. But some outside validation, maybe would be a better word. Grades coming from someone other than you, that a college or some other place that you're applying to would be able to say, okay, all of his grades didn't come from his mom, he did this work commensurate over here. Also, we would be handling live class, so we would be introducing and teaching the material, and also the community factor. Your kids will be in class with other kids who are doing the same things with them. They'll be communicating via Zoom. They'll have a forum where they're able to communicate in written text with each other throughout the week. They'll be able to share their ideas. They'll be able to ask questions. So it's about community as much as it is about the validation and the accountability. Students will be responsible. We do encourage parents to let them have that moment where it feels like they're going to fail, because I'm sure you remember at some point it felt like you were going to fail. And then you didn't. You picked yourself up, you figured out what you needed to do, and you moved forward. And that is the best way to learn. So we do encourage parents not to stay on top of them. Give them the syllabus, maybe encourage them, maybe especially those first few weeks, remind them and kind of stay on top of that. But after the first few weeks become their responsibility. It should become something that they're accustomed to doing and taking care of without having to constantly be reminded by mom. That's a lot of different things to keep in mind as you jump into homeschooling high school, and that's why we're here at Sparks Academy, to try and help you make that transition into moving your child from being a child into being an adult. We also do college application assistance, scholarship application assistance, things like that, if you look through our store. So I hope that this helps you make a decision as to whether or not this is the place for you, and we hope that we'll see you in class. Let's look at the materials that we're going to be using for the history classes. For Exploring America, we're using the Notgrass set, the 2007 set. It looks like this. You can use the newer set. This is probably going to be cheaper for you to find used. And this is the one that we'll be using for the class, so that's how the page numbers are set out. Within this book, there are 2 volumes in this book. This is the second one, broken up into various units. Generally, each week is going to cover 1 unit. There are going to be some times where we take a unit and we break it up over multiple weeks just because there are so many things included in that we want to make sure that we hit everything. So, Unit 16 covers the Gilded Age, and we'll be covering Corruption and Reform, Cleveland and Harrison, Money Matters, the Populist Revolt, and the Bible study is Evolution in the Bible. There's reading. Over the course of the week, your student will be expected to read these lessons. Each week there's a writing assignment that comes from this section. And then we'll also be, there'll be a unit test. We'll be discussing things in class. And at the beginning of each week, they'll have kind of a preparatory class that will cover the information they're going to be learning. For Exploring World History, we're using the 2014 version. You may be asking yourself, why is she using multiple versions? The honest truth here is that these are the versions that I had, and so this is what I'm using to teach the class rather than going out and buying newer versions or different versions from what I already had. Similar to Exploring America, this is in 2 parts. I've grabbed part 1 here, which is Creation Through the Middle Ages. Again, it's broken down into units. Some units will be 1 week, some units will be more than 1 week. Writing, research. Okay, so in this particular one, your writing assignments are on this page. Now, a word about the Word History course. Notgrass is a Christian-based course. We will be studying Christianity as part of Notgrass, but we will also be studying Judaism, Islam, paganism, and a few other world religions because it's important for your students to understand various worldviews. That way, it's easier for them to pinpoint what they believe when they know what other people believe too. It also builds a community of tolerance and understanding, and really, how can we be productive citizens in society if we don't understand the whole world around us and not just our world? We can talk about that further if you have any other questions. I want to come back to this in a minute. If you are doing economics and government, your students will get their textbook emailed to them. Actually, it'll be in the download when they go to checkout. This textbook is in 2 parts. It comes in American government and then economics. Then the textbook, there are worksheet pages, there's text, there are projects. When we get to economics, the students will also be learning about small businesses, and they will go through the process of setting up their own small business. If they don't want a real small business, then they'll set up a fake small business. But if they've had any entrepreneurial leanings, this would be a good chance for them to dip their toe into that. So back to Notgrass. For both world history and American history, you can use these same textbooks that we're going to be using for the history class to get 3 credits: history, Bible study, and literature. When you get your textbooks in the mail, wherever you buy them from, let me find this. It'll tell you how to use it. Talks about the scripture, unit projects, writing assignments. There will be some writing assignments with history. If you're doing literature, there will be more. Research papers. Okay, this is the assigned literature that will come with it. Doesn't come with it, that you have to read along with it. You'll have to get your own literature, maybe from the library, as part of this course, if you're going to be doing this for a literature course as well. Within your downloads that come with your course downloads with this class through Sparks Academy, there is an additional download that has the whole syllabus laid out for you for what you'll need to do if you want all 3 credits from this textbook. For the purposes of Sparks Academy, if you are doing world or American history, we are only going to be doing the history part of that credit. but I wanted to let parents know that you can reuse these textbooks for all 3 of those credits for high school. After purchasing your class, you will receive a zipped folder of class assets. If you're purchasing government and economics, you will also get the textbook in download format, and it will include these files. There will be a class schedule. It's done by the week of, so week 1 will be the week of August 16th. If you have a Monday class, your class will be the 16th. If you have a Tuesday class, your class will be on the 17th. There's an essay grading rubric, which will help parents to do the grading if you're doing parent grading, and it will tell you what to expect as far as grading if you're doing the teacher grading option. There are extra sheets for vocabulary assistance, for helping to start writing a biography. There are your quizzes and quiz answers. Those are for the parents to grade. As you can see, it's just a short 10-question quiz. Occasionally it's a 20-question quiz. It doesn't take very long. So that won't take long to grade. And then you can keep your quiz grades in your grade book. It's just 1 page. If you're doing the parent graded option, then on weeks 16 and 32, you'll send that in. I misspoke. If you're doing the teacher graded option, you'll send that in on weeks 16 and 32. If you're doing the parent graded option, this is what you're going to use to help calculate your student's grade. If you are doing the literature and Bible credits in addition to history, there is a syllabus included that will help you to guide through that. There are course instructions. Tells you what to download, how to submit your coursework, what to do if you've selected the teacher graded option, how to contact us, where to find us. This is probably the first document you should read, how the course works. It includes expectations, what curriculum is, the syllabus, how live classes will be handled, assignments and homework, quizzes and essays, grades. Pretty much outlines everything that your students should expect. As I said before, these classes are going to be run similar to a first-year college class to help your students be prepared when the time comes for higher education. And then finally, the meat of your program is going to be the syllabus. This includes every week. So for week 1, this tells us what we're going to be talking about in class, gives your assignments, read pages 1 through 24 of Unit 1, do writing assignment number 1 on page 2, and then the suggested videos. The videos are not required, but they are strongly suggested as they will help to reinforce the concepts that are being studied. This is how the history classes are going to be set up for Exploring World History, Exploring American History, and Government and Economics. If you are using one of Sparks Academy's The Good and the Beautiful Language Arts courses, you will need to purchase the booklets and the reading books, which there are going to be 5 per course, from The Good and the Beautiful, or on the Good and the Beautiful resale group, which is on Facebook. There are 10 booklets in the course. Students will be responsible for completing these booklets. Parents will be responsible for keeping up with these grades. It doesn't take very long to look over it. Your purchase does come with an answer key, so it's very easy to do. If you're using the teacher graded option, then your parents will submit those grades along with your essays, and they will be graded by Sparks Academy, at which point you will receive a grade. Class participation also is a part of that grade. If they are parent graded, then your parents are going to go through these. You can get some feedback on your essays, but we're going to send your parents a rubric for how to grade your essays. So in the first book of this is High School 1, so we're just going to look at High School 1 today. There are reading challenges. We will be following the regular path for our class. Parents have the option of adding book studies for the honors path, but our classes at Sparks Academy will follow the regular path. It includes your geography and poetry cards, and there are also going to be, where is it, sorry guys, I'm actually in my kitchen / classroom making this. It's also going to come with a grammar and writing guide, which will have things that we're going to go over quite a bit in class. So, grading sheet is fairly straightforward. Within these booklets, if you haven't seen Good and the Beautiful booklets before, there are some videos,
There are instructions, there's some reading. So the first book is going to be Just David by Eleanor Porter, who's the same lady that wrote Pollyanna. There's background, vocabulary, reading assignments, some writing, parts of speech. If you do all 3 of the high school, you will get exposure to all of these different parts, not parts of speech, but writing styles, and you'll be prepared for college writing. Emerson is the poetry for this unit. Annotating and summarizing, editing. So the geography for this unit is New England. They do map practice, research. We've got art appreciation for New England. Beautiful pictures. We've got an insights journal if it's teacher graded. If you've chosen the teacher graded option for your Sparks Academy class, then this is going to be very important. It's also important if you're doing parent graded. It's just your parent's going to be grading you, not us. Spelling practice. There's review. And then, art. We're doing pencil in this one. At the end of this is a unit check, which you'll get in a download. Now, if you are a good and the beautiful person who's been using this for a while, you'll know that High School 1 does not go with the girl from the Limberlost. My student is actually on High School 2. I just grabbed one of the books. These books are coded, so this is for level 11. And this is what he's reading almost at the end of High School 2. So, as part of class, you might be wondering, what are we going to be doing in the live classes? Well, we're going to be discussing the books. We're going to be sharing art projects. In this case, it's how to draw a leaf. We're going to be doing poetry recitations. We're going to be studying the geography and doing geography practice. And we're going to be covering the grammar concepts and parts of speech, all of the more specific things that go along with this class. We're going to be covering these and writing rules in the class. We'll be doing lots of practice, and we'll be having a community. The Good and the Beautiful Language Arts classes are going to be run similarly, so we've pulled up the class assets for just one of these classes, which is Language Arts 2. You'll receive all of these class assets plus one more in your download after you purchase the class. The first one is the course instructions, which reminds you of what to download, tells you how to submit coursework, especially if you're doing the teacher graded option, and just the general information for how the class will work. Then we have the class schedule. It's done by the week of. Because classes are not always held on Mondays, if you're on week 1, if your class is a Monday, it'll be August 16th. If you're on week 1, if your class is a Tuesday, it will be August 17th. It's done by the week, where the week is delineated by Mondays. You will get a longer set of expectations on how the course works, including the curriculum requirements, the syllabus, how live classes are going to be run and how to access the playback, what to expect from assignments and homework, and the quizzes and the essays, and how grading will work for both parent-graded and teacher-graded options. These classes will be held similarly to a freshman class at a college. I expect students to be responsible for their work, to show up on time, to get things done in a timely fashion, and to be prepared for class. There will be an essay grading rubric. If you're using the teacher-graded option, this is how we will be grading the essays. If you're using parent-graded option, this can help to guide the parents in scoring. There are extras for studying vocabulary and for helping you to outline a biography. And then this is your grade book, where the parents will keep track of bookwork and unit checks and then be turning that in. Now, the big meat and potatoes of this course is the class syllabus. As you can see, we've just started working on this, but I wanted to go ahead and get this video up. So, how the classes are going to work is similar to the history classes if you've watched that section of this video. In week 1, these are the topics that we'll be discussing. The course introduction, how Socratic discussions work. We'll be setting up Men of Iron and studying Howard Pyle, the author. And then we'll be looking at Gothic architecture. For the assignments for that week, we have an outline that most families have been using in the Good and the Beautiful middle and high school group. And that's broken down by day. So for assignments, I've written here days 1 through 4. Leave your feedback below on whether you would have your student have another sheet of paper that has it delineated by days, or if you'd rather have me just write exactly everything that needs to be done in days 1 through 4 so that they can choose how much they'd like to do each day. I see pros and cons for both, so I'm curious to see what other parents think. And then there will be suggested videos also. These are to help reinforce concepts, particularly any tricky writing or grammar concepts that we'll be studying, but also to bring to life some of the art and the geography that come along with this course. Overall, this class should take about 45 minutes on the day that we have live class, and 30 minutes to 45 minutes on the other days, with the exception of if there is a day where there's a lot of reading. Again, if we're studying by the week, then if your student just wants to stay up late one night and read all of the chapters that are assigned for that week, that will definitely alleviate some of the time during the day. I hope that this helps. To access Sparks Academy, go to okbookshack.org, and this is our website. You can scroll through and see a little bit of what we have. And let's look at the class options. We have live classes that are held online and ones that are held at the Homeschool House in Shawnee. So if you're local to Oklahoma, you're always welcome to visit the Homeschool House's Facebook page and see what classes are being offered. But primarily we focus on Sparks Academy, which is our live online academy. We also have online classes that are not live. These are done through, like Journey Through the Continent. These are done through a Google Classroom, and they are for your entire family to use together. So if you go to the store, you can click on Journey Through the Continents. This is going to be a full geography class for middle school. But let's look primarily today at these live classes. We have a Facebook group if you'd like to join there for more information. It's not very active yet as we haven't fully kicked off our program. And our blended classes use The Good and the Beautiful for language arts and Notgrass for history. We are required to have you purchase the curriculum. It doesn't have to be purchased new, but you do have to purchase your own copy of the curriculum. We have a graded option, which I'll talk about in just a moment. Some frequently asked questions: how and when will the class meet? They will be meeting through Zoom. Classes will be recorded if you've missed one and held in a private Facebook group. You are going to need Zoom, some sort of word processing, and a camera or microphone. If you want the video playback, you're going to need to belong to Facebook and ask to join that group. Student privacy, age limit. So these are high school courses. If your child is working through the high school curriculum and is mature enough to participate in discussions, I often get asked about 8th graders, so primarily that's who I'm talking to, then they are eligible to take these classes. Do you have to buy the curriculum or will it be provided? You do have to purchase the curriculum. If you're taking government and economics, it is provided. Refund policy. We will refund your purchase except for a $35 processing fee up until the week before classes begin. We cannot offer any refund once classes begin because we have put that in motion and planned for your child to be part of that. So let's look at one of these classes. If you go to the Cottage Shop, it will tell you exactly what's included and how to do it. It also says at the top in big letters, this course is not fully complete and able to use until August of 2021. You are welcome to purchase it at any point, but the lessons will not be available until this sentence has been removed. We try to make sure that this is in big bold print at the top of anything that's not currently active. That way if you have a coupon code or something, you're still able to use it. There is a graded option. While you only have to purchase one class, let's say you have a 10th and 11th grader working together. Purchasing the class once will give both of them access to it, but if you want teacher graded, you have to purchase one graded option per child. Your student must be enrolled in one of the live classes for you to purchase this graded add-on. There is a $10 processing fee, and these processing fees are because that is what we are charged and we are not reimbursed. If you only want the feedback on writing, we have that for level 6, level 7, and high school writing. High school writing feedback comes with that teacher graded option, so if you want the whole thing and you're taking the class, you're definitely better off to buy the graded option. Some other extras that we have here are the extensions page, which moms have put together extras. This is specifically for the Good and the Beautiful curriculum. As you can see, it includes quite a bit. We have a Facebook group for middle and high school. We have the College Success, which will help you get from homeschool to college. It's got all of these different components in it, and you can find that under the College 101 tab. And you can purchase all of these items in the Cottage Shop, which if you will sort by latest added, you will see the live classes at the top. I hope that this helps you. We will try to get a sample class put up sometime in the near future. Thanks.